continuation to the aspect of software size, in which we have discussed the first aspect of size is length. Okay, the second aspect of the size is reuse. We regularly use operating system, compiler, database management system, libraries for mathematical routine rather than writing a new. So this reuse of software, including requirement, design, documentation and test data and script as well as code, improve our productivity and the quality. So allowing us to concentrate on new problem rather than the continuing solve old one again. So the main aim of reuse, whenever you reuse the software, we have to concentrate on the new problem rather than the continuing the solving the old problem. So counting the reused code is not as simple as it sounds. It is difficult to define formally what we mean by reuse code. So we sometimes reuse whole program without modification, but more often we reuse some unit of code, a module, function or procedure. So we often modify that the unit to some extent. So however we account for reuse the code, we want to distinguish a module with one modify line from a module with 100 modify lines. Thus we have to consider the notion of extent of reuse, and it is measured on ordinary scale which is defined by NASA. So there are four notions of extent of reuse which will measure in the scale. So the first scale is reuse verbatim. So in the reuse verbatim, it is the scale in which the code in unit was reused without any changes. So whatever the existing code we are reuse as it is. That scale is called as reuse verbatim. Second scale is slightly modify, in which fewer than 20% of the lines of code in the unit were modified. Then third scale is extensively modified, in which 25% or more of the lines of the codes were modified, and the none of the code comes from the previously considered unit. So these are the ordinary scale which we called as notion of extent of reuse. So this classification can be simplified to reduce to the two level also. But Hewlett-Packard has defined three levels of code, so that we define the size in terms of total size and the proportion of reuse at the different level. So Hewlett-Packard has defined three levels of codes: new code, reuse code and leverage code. So in this, reuse code is used as is without modification, that is reuse as it is without modification we have reuse, while leverage code is existing code that is modified in some way. So Hewlett-Packard's reuse the ratio include both reuse and leverage code as a percentage of total code delivered. So out of the total code, how many lines that we have reused, that will be measured as a one of the size parameter. So we define the size in terms of total size and the proportion of reuse at different level. So this is a reuse is one of the aspect of size in which we will also consider how many code will be reused in terms of modification. So we'll consider different level by which how much part of that part is modified or what are the changes while reusing that code. Okay, so this is another aspect of software size. Then next aspect of software size is the functionality. So many software engineers argue that the length is misleading, that the amount of functionality inherited in the product paints the better picture of our product size. So whenever to measure the product size, they are expecting that the amount of functionality is given by that product is also one of the measurement. So in particular, those who generate efforts and duration estimates from the early development product often prefers to estimate the functionality rather than the physical size, because in the early development they are expecting what the functionality is developed that will help. So instead of measuring the total size, they are expecting how much functionality is performed by that product. So as a distinct attribute, functionality captures a notion of amount of function contained in the delivered product. Okay, and that is one of the size measurement of software. Okay, so it captures the amount of functions contained in the delivered product, or in the description how much product is supposed to be. So what the product is given, that much is measured by the functionality. So there are several approaches to measure the functionality of the software product. So there are many proposer has defined the different approaches by which we can measure the functionality. So there are three approaches. The first is Albert function point, second DMACROCH approach, and third is the COCOMO 2.0 to the object point. So these are the three measurements by which we can measure the functionality of the software. So each of these measure was delivered as a part of larger effort to supply the size information to the cost or productivity model based on the measurability product. So based on this functionality, this will help for the measuring the effort and estimation which is required in the latter part. So based on this function measurement, obviously this measurement of function measurement which will help for the latter part to find out the reliability, productivity. Okay, so all these approaches, which is Albert, DMACRO and COCOMO, all this approach measures the functionality of the specific document, but each of can also be applied to the latter lifecycle product to redefine the size estimate. So therefore the cost or productivity estimate where we can use this functionality measurement. So our initiative notion of functionality tells us that if program P is an implementation of specification S, then P and S should be a same functionality. Because here once the program is developed from the specification, we are expecting then the same functionality is produced from the specification also and functionality also. So there are different approaches. There are actually three approaches which mainly focus to how to measure the functionality. So we'll discuss the first one is the Albert approach. So Albert approach is the effort estimation model was largely based on the notion of function point. So this function, so it is measured in terms of function point, as name suggests that the function point are intended to measure the amount of functionality in the system as described by the specification. So it measure how much functionality, amount of functionality is given by the system and which is specified in the specification. So we compute the function point without forcing the specification to concern to the particular specification model. Okay, so to compute the number of function point, FE first compute. So obviously we have to compute the function point. So what are the function point? The so in the first Albert function point, the first step you have to compute the whole function point. You have the first step of this computing function point. First you have to compute the adjacent function point count. Okay, so at the aim of this Albert function point, we have to measure the amount of functionality in the system which describes the specification. But to compute that FP, the first step you have to compute the unadjusted function which is UFC. Okay, so we have to determine for some representation of software in terms of following time. So obviously some component on which this UFCs depend. So what are that category? The first component on which the count is depend, the external input, the atom provided by the user, the external input, the atom provided by the user to describe the distinct application data. Then second component, external output, atom provided to the user to describe the distinct application data. Then external inquiries, interactive input requiring a response, external files which machine readable interface to the other system, and then internal files which are the master file, which are logical master file in the system. Okay, so these are the component on which UFC is depend. So you have to first compute for any application, you have to first compute these are the component and determine the complexity of each of these components at simple level, average level and complex level. Okay, so once again, what are the component? External input, what are the atoms provided by user, what are the atoms given to the user is external output, then what are the external inquiry which is interactive input to getting the response, what are the interface files which is the external interface files, and what are the master files which is required for system. So that you have to compute as a component, and for each of the component you have to identify what is its complexity in terms of simple, average and complex for a given application. So this is this is a example. Once you compute the component which is input, output, master file, interface, inquiry, we have to compute the complexity in terms of simple, average, and complex. So once you identify this table, then how we calculate the compute unadjusted function point, which is UFC. So UFC is calculated is equals to C input into input plus C output into output plus C inquiry into inquiry plus C M file into master file and C interface into interface. So in short, UFP is equals to unadjusted function point is equal to sum of I is equals to I1 to 15 of atoms of variety into weight of I. Okay, so this is the way. So we have 15 different varieties of atom, which levels of complexity for each of the 5 type. So we can compute the unadjusted function point count by multiplying the atom of variety by the weight, so that UFC is equals to sum of I is equals to 1 to 15 number of atoms of variety of I into weight of I. Okay, so with this we can calculate the UFP, which is unadjusted function point. So this is example how we calculate UFC. So this is one example application of spell checker specification. So this is a simple spelling checker to compute the unadjusted function point. From the description we have to identify. So this is the examples here. This is the checker accept the input document file and an optional personal dictionary file. So there are 2 input for this, one input document file and personal dictionary file. Then checker is the application. The checker lists all the words not contained in either of this file. Okay, so user can query the number of word processed and the number of spelling error found at any stage during the processing. So this is one application where it will check the spell checking. So this is so in this diagrams here we have user, then spelling check is application, we have end user. So what are the input for this? We have this word processing inquiry, document file, personal directory, error found inquiry, and dictionary word. So these are the input files, and we have what is output from this? Any error message, reports or an misplaced word, and word processing message. That is the output from this. So according to this application, what is the value of external input? So there are 2 external inputs. So what are the 2 external inputs for this? Document file name, which one, then personal dictionary name. So document file and personal dictionary are the external inputs. So we have 2 value for external input. Then there's a 3 value for external output. So what are the 3 external outputs here? Misplaced word report, number of word process message, and the error message, number of error occurs. So these are the 3 output files. So external outputs are 3. Then 2 external inquiries. What are the 2 external inquiry? Regarding word processed and the error so far. So these are the 2 word process inquiry in error so far. These are the 2 inquiries. Then 2 external file, which is the document file and personal dictionary, and the 1 internal file, which is 1 dictionary. Okay, so these are the values which are calculated for this 5 component A, B, C, D, E. Okay, so for this example we have computed this value. So once you have computed this value, we have to identify its complexity at the simple, average, and complex, and based on that you have to calculate the. So this is spell description with the 5 files, how you identify 3 external input, 3 external output, 2 internal, 2 external, and 1 external inquiry. This is based on your application. Now once you calculate that value, then we have to calculate that UFP by having the weight of that I into the weight. So once you calculate the UFP, which is unadjusted function point, then your function point is not only depends upon UFC, it also depends upon one more component, which is a technical complexity factor, TFC, because the final computing adjusted function point is FP is equals to UFC into TCF. So first step you have to calculate UFC. What is second step? You have to calculate TCF. What is TCF? Technical complexity factor. Okay, so once you if I know the UFC and TCF, if you use UFC multiply by TCF, you will get the function point. Okay, so the technical complexity factors actually depends upon the 14 contributing factor. So your TCF is depends upon the 14 factor. So these are the given 14 factors are there on which TCF is depend, where F1 is reliable backup directory, F2 is data communication, F3 is distribution function, F4 is performance, F5 heavy. Like we have this 15 option on which TFCs depend. Okay, so on this factor the TFCs depend. So each of these component in the table which rated from 0 to 5. So where 0 means that subfactor is irrelevant, 3 means that it is average, and 5 means it is essential in the system. So likewise each of these factor you have to calculate it, and for each of the factor you have to find out the value between the 0 to 5. As it is F1 to 14, for each of the factor we have to find out its relevance. If it is 0 means that factor is irrelevant. Then if the value of that Fi is 3, which indicates it is average relevant, and 5 means that it is essential relevant. Okay, so although these are the integer rating from the ordinary scale, so which value with 0 to 5 and 3 is for average. So based on that, once you know this factor you have to weight it. So what is the formula for calculating TCF? TCF is equal to 0.65 plus 0.01 into summation of I to 14 with Fi. That Fi indicates that the factor which are the 14. That's why summation I is equal to 1 to 14, and that factor values depend upon its relevance. So TCF, so the TCF value is total value 0.65 if all the F1 to F14 are 0, because summation multiplied 0 means the TCF value is 0.65. And if TCF value, which is the high value, if Fi will be the 5, because possible value of Fi is either 0, 3 or 5. So if the all Fi are 5, that time TCF value is 1.35. Okay, so that's why the TCF is always ranges from 0 to 65 with a minimum and maximum is 1.35. So always TCF having the value between these two. So based on this two value, we have to finally calculate the FP. So once you calculate TCF based on this factor, finally the function point is calculated by the multiplication of UFC into TCF. So this is the Albert function point by which we can measure the functionality of the software by calculating the first step UFC, unadjusted function point, and then TCF is the technical complexity factor, and by which the multiplication of these two we can identify the function point. Okay, so this is the first way by using by the Albert's function point we have to measure the functional point. Okay, by which functionality is measured. But if I consider this function point measurement, there are some problems with the function point. Although that Albert has proposed that function point technology is the independent of measure of size, but there are several problems with the function point measure. Okay, so what are the limitations with the function point measure? The first is the problem with subjectivity in the technology factor. Since we are using the TCF, it always having the range value with 0.65 to 1.35, and unadjusted function count can be changed as per your requirement. So this uncertainty inheritance, that subfactor rating, why it is only that function value. So that's why it is a technology factor, the problem with that subjectivity. Second problem is the problem with double counting, because here what is the problem with double counting? Because when you use the function point function, that we internally measure the complexity twice time, because we will measure first the complexity in the function point count, and second also we measure in terms of TCF. So there are two times the subfact we counting the complexity. So that's why there are two times the measurements are performed. So this is another problem with the function point. Second, the problem with counter initiative values. So subfactor rating TCF values are counter initiative, means it can be a 0 to 5, but why we cannot expect that TCF value is 1? Because it's only represent that the TCF value is 0, 3 or 5. So means it has a set the fixed functionality, but we other than we cannot have a measurement for that counter value. So why they are not incremental counter value? That is the problem. Then the next problem is the problem with accuracy, because TCF does not have significant improved resource estimation. Okay, and UFC seem to be worse predictor to resource than adjustable to FP count. So both case the UFC and TCF does not use in increasing for accuracy for prediction. So that's why basically the two calculations are not itself in the accurate in nature. So that's why there is accuracy problem with function point. Then problem with the life cycle use. Function point calculation require full software system specification, and user requirement is not enough. So means this is not our major goal. Okay, because we want early measurement. So as it is required complete this is a problem. So means this function point required whole specification is the problem. Second problem with the changing requirement. Function points are appealing. The size measure is a part because they are recalculated as development continues. So when we track the progress, the term number of function point is completed, but we cannot compare the function point count with the initial specification. Like at what first stage what the count is measured, then when the development is going on, then what count is measured. So we cannot measure the progress when the changes are performed. This is also another problem. Next problem with differentiating specified atom. Means evaluating the input atom and technology factor component involves expert judgment. So as you know, in the TCF there are 14 factors are there. So out of that, one of the factors are expert judgmentation, calculation of specification. So these are the some factors which are not directly automated calculated, and still your function is depends on such evaluator. So that indicates that it is not differentiate like which measurement used for TCF. Then problem with technology dependence. Function points are not independent of system analysis and design method use. Means it is totally depends on the specification. So if you change with the design other part, there is no any changes with your function point. So that's why it is a technology dependent with only with the specification. Then second problem, the next problem is problem with application domain. The function point has been successful in the data processing application. So domain for which are original developed, means function point only used with the application domain only, whichever we have required. But for other which we having the other features where the function point we cannot use. Okay. The next is the problem with subjective weighting, because we during the calculation of TCF and the UCF we have considered the weighted multiplication. So that weightage has uses the ordinary scale. Why it is not uses the linear scale in that formula? Okay, so that's why the subjective weighting is very dangerous for that calculation. So that's why there is a problem with subjective measurement. And the last problem is the problem with the measurement theory. Okay, so that whatever the theories used for the measurement, which is the ordinary, which is not relevant for the whole calculation. So these are the enlisted 11 problems of while the function point measurement. So these are the 11 problem with the function point. So next approach, so that's why the researcher has shifted from the function point measure to the object point measure. Okay, so COCOMO model is for predicting effort from the formula whose independent of variable size. So investigate alternate, they have find the lines as in the function point they have measured the lines of code as one of the measurement, but always we are not getting the measurement is a procedure oriented. So that's why there is another, so that's why this function point is modified with a new approach which is object point measure, and that model is the COCOMO 2. So COCOMO 2.0, they have selected the object point for this early size measure in the COCOMO 2.0. So object point approach is the synthesis of the procedure suggested by one of the author. So to compute the object point, the initial size measure is generated by counting the number of screens, reports, and third generation Lagrange component that will be involved in the application. So here it is a predicting effort formula whose main independent of variable is size. So the size is measured in the COCOMO 2.0 in terms of object point. So to compute the object point, initially size is measured is generated by a number of screen, reports, language component. Based on that, the object points are calculated. So depends what is the screen, what is the report, what is the language are used. Based on that, for every component you will calculate the object point. Then after the second step, once you calculate the object point of each of this environment, then each object is classified as simple, medium, and difficult, like a function point. So you have divided that each object in the complexity terms with the simple, medium, and difficult. Then we have to find out the weighted instance are summed to find the single object point, and then consider reuse also. Okay, so then the procedure we have maintained where it will count the object point number, so which is a weighted instance are summed together to find the single object number. The procedure differ from function point that in that reuse is taken into account. If I go with the function point, reuse is not considered, but here in the object oriented point the reuse point is also considered, since object points are intended for use in the effort estimation also. So that's why the R percentage of object will be reused from the previous object and number of new objects. So once if you know is R is the value for reuse. So once I know the how many objects are reused, then we can calculate the new object point by the formula. New object point is equals to total object points into 100 minus R divided by 100. By this way we can find it how many object point, and that is one of the measurement we can measure for the measuring the functionality in terms of object point. And this value which we have calculated for new object point, which is also used for the effort estimation and productivity model also, means this type of measurement also used for the latter phase of SDLC also. Okay, then the third approach. So these are the table which indicates the how we calculate the number of. So if for the screen how many object point we identify, and we have divided into simple, medium and difficult one. And second, for the report also we have divided the number of objects in terms of simple, medium and the difficult level. So likewise we have find out the number of object, and based on that complexity of object we have divided total screen, report and 3G language generated component with simple, medium, difficult. Okay, and based on that new object is calculated. Now the next approach which is used for the functionality is the DMacro approach. So DMacro proposes the functionality measure based on its structure analysis and design notion. So that's why their approaches is based on to measure the functionalities based on this, what is the structure analysis and the design used for that system. So that's why there are two Bang matrices which we called as specification weight matrices, which are the two measurement used in the DMacro. So what are the two measurement used in the DMacro approach? Is the first is the function bank measure, and second is the data bank measure. So in the function bank measure is based on the number of functional primitives, that is the number of lowest level of bubble in the DFD diagram. As your DFD is the one of the design document, that is data flow diagram is the one of the document. So based on that we have to calculate how many number of primitive functions, like number of lowest level of bubbles present in the DFD diagram. That is also one measurement of function bank. So the basic function primitive count is the weighted according to type of functionality primitive and the number of data token used by primitive. So once you identify how many bubbles in the DFD, then you have to count the weighted according to type of that functionality primitive present in the DFD. So based on that you have to find out the weighted, and based on that you have to find out the function bank measure. Next measurement which used in the DMacro is the data bank measure. What is data bank measure? Is based on the number of entities in the entity relationship model. As you know, one of the design document is ER diagram. So based on that entity relationship diagram, the data bank measure is used. So data bank measure is based on ER diagram. So it will measure the number of entities in the ER model. And once the entities are measured, then the basic entities count is weighted according to number of relationship involved with each entity. So then we have to find the weighted according to number of entities related to the another entities, by which we can find the weighted, and that is the way how to measure the data bank measure. So the measure are specific in the DMacro notation. It is adapted for the structural analysis. So this dependence may actually be advantageous. Unlike function point, data bank may be used formally. It is used in the many cases. Okay, so the many cases is also uses the data bank measure and function bank measure. So for function bank measure it uses the DFD diagram, and for data bank measure it uses the ER diagram. So these are the two measures used by the DMacro approach. So that is about the functionality measure, where we have represented the three approaches: DMacro approach, then COCOMO 2.0 is the one approach, and the first approach which we discussed, the Albert's function point measure. So these are the three approaches we use for the functionality measure. And the last aspect of measurement aspect of size is the complexity. So this complexity is one of the important parameter where we find the complexity of solution to instead of getting the complexity of the solution, instead of finding the complexity of the problem. So we define the complexity of problem as a amount of resources required for an optimal solution to get the problem. Okay, so we have the actually the complexity is one of the measurement which is used for the direct measurement size of the product. So there are two ways to measure the complexity. We can measure the complexity in terms of time also, and we can measure a space complexity. So time complexity, where we have to check whether resource is a computer time, and in case of space complexity, the resource we are using is the computer memory. So we use the complexity in terms of two notions, where we use the complexity of the problem also and the complexity of the solution. The complexity of problem is nothing but amount of resource required for an optimal solution to the problem. So what is the resources we have used to get the optimal solution problem is called as complexity of the problem. And what is the complexity of the solution? Resource needed to implement the particular solution. Then we have that complexity of the solution. And based on this complexity of solution or finding a complexity problem, we use either time complexity or the space complexity. And this time and space complexity which we have measured, is very helpful to measure the efficiency of the solution. Okay, so one of the parameter for measuring the efficiency, we use the complexity. So how to measuring the complexity? The one of the upset of complexity is the efficiency, because once you measure the efficiency, we can know what is this complexity. So it measure any software product that can be modeled as an algorithm. So we have measured the algorithmic complexity, by which we can determine how much memory is required or how much time is required for measuring the algorithmic. For example, if algorithm for solving all instances of particular problem require f of n computation, then f of n is asymptotically optimal. So for every other algorithm with complexity g that solve the problem, f is O of g. So then the complexity of given problem is the big O of asymptotically optimal problem. So that is the one of the notations are used to measure the complexity. So the big O is one of the notation by which we can measure, we can show the complexity, which may be a problem complexity or solution complexity, and which helps to measure the efficiency. So what is that big O notation? A mathematical formalization where we call it as big O notation allow us to define an order relation on function. So if you want to find out the order relation on the function, this is and turn permit us to define the relation to characterize the efficiency. To measure the efficiency, the function which we use or notation which is called as big O notation. So we derive the big O form of function f of n by finding the dominating terms f of n and ignoring the constant multiple. So for example, we have function f of n is equal to 3n square plus 2n plus 26. So the dominant term of f of n is 3n square. So we ignoring the constant. So we leave it with the n square. So we said that f of n is equal to big O of n squares. That's why the complexity is O of n square. Okay. Another example, if f of n is equal to 2n, so in which a dominating terms f of n is nothing but n. So that's why the f of n is O of n. So that's why the complexity is O of n. So if we have f of n function is 3 log of n plus 2, so we ignore the constant term, then that's why we have the complexity is O of log n. Okay, so these are the measure by which we can asymptotic notation of big O, where we can represent the complexity. So the complexity, it having the strict containment hold. So O of 1 is a subset of O of log n with subset of O of n. Then O of log n is higher than O of n. O of n square is log n then more than O of n log n. Then O of c raised to n factors are the more. So likewise, we have these complexities in terms of big O notation with a range of higher, with the lowest is 0 of 1. So some of the big O sets are sufficiently common to merit the special names. Like for example, if f of n is O of 1, then we say that the f has a constant complexity. Then if f of n is equals to O of log n, then we say that f has a logarithmic complexity. If f of n is equals to O of n, then we have it is a linear complexity. Then f of n is equals to O on a square, we say that f has quadratic complexity. If f of n is equals to c raised to n, then f we have exponential complexity. So use this notation and terminology to define the efficiency of logarithmic a, which is the size of a, which is the most of time we have measured the complexity. So this is the way, this is the third aspect of software size, which is the measurement of software size. Okay, thank you.